Welcome in, everyone, to Historic Colburn Park as the Newark Pilots at 11-25-1 host the Auburn Doubledays at 19-17. Getting right into the action, Frankie Vanzalata getting the start on the mound for the Pilots, the lefty from SUNY Brockport. First pitch drops in there for a strike. Count is at 0-1. No balls, one strike. It's Carson Gross up at the dish now for the Doubledays, batting .227 coming into this game. The pitch from Vanzalata hit right on a line to the shortstop. Michael Flaherty has it. He'll throw over to Mitchell Kelly at first. A 6-3 ground out, and there's one away to start off the game for the Doubledays. That will now bring up Fernando Espinal for the Pilots. And a very familiar face here at Colburn Park. He actually played with the Pilots last season, so now in enemy territory, behind enemy lines, is Fernando Espinal. Batting .230. He's also at shortstop tonight for the Auburn Doubledays. That one swung on and smoked into center field. Coming in is Frankie DiMartino on a line. He'll make the play, and quickly two away for the Pilots. That will now bring up Hazel Martinez for the Doubledays. Also a familiar face here at Colburn Park. Played summer ball here last year. So Hazel Martinez will step in for the Pilots with two away to face Frankie Vanzalata. First pitch from Vanzalata just tails out of the zone, counts at 1-0. Second pitch to the former Pilot misses low, counts at 2-0. Martinez batting out of the left side of the batter's box. Transferred from Cayuga Community College to Union College down in Tennessee. Division II program. That one taken for a strike, counts at 1-1 now. So 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 pitch, just misses inside, counts at 3-1 now. So 3 balls, 1 strike, and 2 away to Hazel Martinez. Vanzalata will step off and reset. 3-1 pitch. Taken for a strike. Counts evened up. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away to Hazel Martinez. 3-2 pitch. That one swung on and hit out into right field. Paulie Goodness trailing. And is called off by Frankie DiMartino, who makes the play. A 1-2-3 inning for Frankie Vanzalata. Will head to the bottom of the first. It will be the center fielder from Hofstra University, Frankie DiMartino, leading things off. We'll be right back on Bigger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. we're back on Finger Lakes One Radio. It'll be the Hofstra University baseball member Frankie DiMartino lead things off. First pitch from Sam Huff. Misses way high, counts at 1-0. So 1-0 the count. 1 ball, no strikes, and no outs. As Frankie will step back in. 1-0 pitch to him. Misses up, counts at 2-0 now. 2 balls, no strikes to Frankie DiMartino, who's batting .212 coming in this game for the Pilots. The 2-0 pitch. That one swung on and popped foul. Counts at 2-1 now. 2 balls, 1 strike, and no outs. For Sam Huff, 3.17 ERA and 34 innings of work. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled off, so the count's evened up at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last 2 pitches both fouled off by Frankie DiMartino. Waiting on deck is the pitcher for the Pilots and extra hitter, P/EH. It's Frankie Vanzalata, who got that 1-2-3 inning there in the top of the first inning. Frankie DiMartino steps back in. The 2-2 pitch to him from Huff. Fastball misses high, counts at 3-2 now, so it's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Frankie DiMartino will step back in. That one misses high. 4 ball, 4. So that will now bring up Frankie Vanzalata.
Frankie Vanzalata.
So Frankie Vanzalata will step in. So Frankie Vanzalata steps in. First pitch swinging. That one is smoked down to right field. Trailing is the right fielder, and he'll make the play in foul territory. And tagging up is Frankie DiMartino, slide into second safely. So an FF9 making the play out there in right field was A.J. Wenrich for the out. And that will now bring up Justin DiMartino from Farmingdale State University with 1 away here. So an FF9 for Frank Vanzalata. And there's 1 away now. Advancing 90 feet was Frankie DiMartino. And Justin DiMartino fouls the first pitch off the counts at 0-1. So leadoff walk for Frankie DiMartino. He now sits on second after the FF9. A.J. Wenrich made the play and threw the ball over to Espinal at short, who couldn't get the tag down. For Frankie DiMartino with blazing speed there, advancing 90 feet. That one misses high, counts at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Justin DiMartino will step back in for the Pilots. Huff comes set the pitch. That one swung on and lifted into center field. Trailing is the center fielder, B.J. Banyan. He'll make the play, and Frankie will pretend like he's going to go to third, but quickly retreat. So an F8, and there's 2 away now. That will now bring up Jack Archimone for the Pilots with 2 away. So 2 away, Jack Archimone will step up for the Pilots. Chance for an RBI with the blazing DiMartino, blazing speed at second. We'll see if the Pilots can strike first here. 2 away, Huff comes set, the pitch to Archimone. That one misses off the glove, and that's going to be a pass ball from the catcher, James Bolton. So DiMartino advances, great read on the ball there, a pass ball. And the count's at 1-0 to Jack Archimone. So now Frankie DiMartino sits 90 feet away at third base. And wouldn't this be something if the Pilots could play spoiler here? Doubledays need to win some games here. Niagara sits a 1 game back at 17-17. Doubledays at 19-17. The Power are facing the Batavia Muck Dogs today. So certainly playoffs are far from decided here in the PGCBL. The second pitch misses high for a ball. Count is at 2-0. And it would be very reminiscent of the way the Pilots ended last season, obviously not in playoff contention, but spoiled Jamestown's chances of making playoffs last year. That one fouled off from Archimone. Count moves to 2-1. And it was off the bat of Kobe Menser last summer, an RBI single that gave the Pilots, lifted them over the Tarpskunks in that game. 2 balls, 1 strike. Huff coming set. The 2-1 delivery to the Richmond Spider. Swung on and rope right to Espinal at short. That was going to be hit off his chest. Here comes Archimone, and he'll beat it out. So that one will be an E6 and an RBI. That will now be Mitchell Kelly coming up to the dish for the Pilots. With 2 away, 1-0 your score. Huff comes set. That one fouled off sharply from Kelly. Counts at 0-1. Hard hit ball for Archimone, but Espinal probably should have made the play there. That was why it was scored in E6. Nonetheless, great hit from Archimone. Great contact off the bat, but Espinal probably should have made the play there. That one hit down the line, and that one's going to drop all the way down. That one's going to kick into the corner. Rounding second is Archimone, and he's going to be sent home. All the way rounding home is Jack Archimone, and he scores. It's an RBI double. Mitchell Kelly, and the Pilots take a 2-0 lead. So, 2 quick runs for the Pilots, who are off to an early lead here. So, Gage Boltman coming up now. A little 2-out magic for the Pilots. 2 RBI in the last 2 batters with 2 outs. And they now lead 2-0. So, Gage Boltman steps up now for the Pilots. That one swung out and hit right to the third baseman who fields. Carson Gross over to Garrett Prosper. A 5-3 ground out, but the Pilots pick up 2 runs on an E6 RBI from Jack Archimone, scoring Frankie DiMartino, and then Archimone scores on an RBI double from Mitchell Kelly. We'll head to the top of the second. 2-0 Pilots lead. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. We are back here on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Pilots off to an early 2-0 lead and looking to play spoiler yet again here late in the season. Bobby Stang, the extra hitter number 30, steps in, and he's been a menace for the Doubledays on the summer thus far. First pitch swinging and missing, counts at 0-1. And tell you what, You would have fooled me if you told me Frankie Vanzalata wasn't a pitcher, because he's looked lights out thus far here tonight. The 0-1 pitch to Bobby Stang. Another swing and another miss. Low in the dirt. Had him fishing. Counts it 0-2. Vanzalata steps back in. Oh, 2 pitch from Frankie Vanzalata. Swung on and popped foul out of play. So the count still stays at 0-2 to Bobby Stang. Vanzalata has a 6.75 ERA and 1.1 innings of work, and that was against these very Doubledays a few weeks ago in that 18-4 loss at Falcon Park. That one swung on and popped right side. Mitchell Kelly trailing over, and he'll watch it kick off into the picnic area here at Colburn Park. So 4 pitches and 4 strikes for Frankie Vanzalata. 2 of them swung and missed, and the other 2 fouled off. So we're still at 0-2. The ball's 2 strikes. That one misses. Count is at 1-2 now. That one swung on and missed. Strike 3. Frankie Vanzalata gets a strikeout. So there's one away now. Strikeout swinging for Bobby Stang. That'll bring up A.J. Wenrich. Number 3 for the Auburn Doubledays. He's out in right field tonight, batting 166. That one misses high. Counts at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. To A.J. Wenrich. Waiting on deck is Garrett Prosper, the first baseman for the Doubledays. The pitch taken at the knees. Count is at 1-1 now. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 away. One's across the top of the scoreboard. 1-1 pitch from Vanzalata. That one swung on and popped foul. Count is at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Vanzalata stepping back on the mound. And the 1-2 pitch swung on, and that one popped foul. So count stays at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to A.J. Wenrich. From Georgia Southern, along with teammate Bobby Stang. That one just misses off the outer edge of the plate. Looked like the home plate umpire was ready to ring up A.J. Wenrich, but not the case. Count pushed to 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Archimone will complete the drop third strike. 2-3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Frankie Vanzalata, and there's 2 away. And that will now bring up Garrett Prosper. So Frankie Vanzalata, have yourself a day. 2 strikeouts already in his first 5 batters faced at that. So that'll bring up the first baseman, number 16, Garrett Prosper, batting .214. So far, pitch from Vanzalata. That one swung on, and a little dribbler out on the left side. That one's going to drop in for a bloop single, and that's the first hit of the ball game for either side. 2-out bloop single for Prosper. That'll now bring up the left fielder, number 12, Christian Malillo, batting .238 for the Doubledays. So Malillo will step in. Across the board, 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors for the Pilots. And no runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Doubledays. Vanzalata comes set. The pitch taken at the knees for a strike. The count is at 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike to Christian Malillo. Doubledays looking to repeat the Pilots' 2-out magic that they scored 2 runs off of last half inning. The pitch swung on, and that one hit down the right field line, trailing over is Paulie Goodness. He'll watch that one kick over into the Pilots bullpen. So that puts the count at 0-2 now. No balls, 2 strikes to Prosper. Waiting on deck for the Doubledays is James Bolton, tonight's catcher. So Vanzalata looking to get through 2 scoreless here. No one up and warming yet in the bullpen for Auburn. 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses high. Archimone quickly looks back as if he was going to do a back tag and throw to Kelly. Prosper retreats, counts at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Christian Malillo at the dish for the Doubledays. Vanzalata comes set yet again. 1-2 pitch. That one bounced in the dirt. Good stop from Archimone to keep that one in front of him. Counts now evened up at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. And don't forget that the Pilots will be on the road tomorrow to face the Elmira Pioneers. They're at Dunn Field in Elmira, New York. And that will be streaming on Pioneers Network on YouTube. That one swung on and crushed, foul. And out of play. So, count still at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sun starting to peek through the clouds here. It's been kind of overcast. Thought we were going to get a little bit of rain, but missed us and poured all over at Geneva. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2-2 pitch. Swung on a little dribbler to Flaherty, who fields it and will shovel it over to Briggs Loveland. 6-4 ground out for Christian Malillo at the bottom of the second. Pilots lead 2-0 on Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel. Back here on Finger Lakes One Radio. First pitch swung on a miss from Nick Payne. Striking there from Sam Huff. The second pitch, fastball, misses high. Count is at 1-1 now. So 1 ball, 1 strike to the leadoff man, Nick Payne, for this inning for the Pilots. Payne batting 187. And he certainly has been swinging a hot bat as late and has found a home there at third base for the Pilots. Playing third base yet again here tonight. Counts at 2-1 as that one misses high as well from Huff. Counts 2-1. Waiting on deck is Michael Flaherty. That one misses high as well. Counts at 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Brother Tommy Flaherty from Clark University in Worcester, Mass. Joining the team, wearing number 23 now. Division III school there in Massachusetts. That one misses outside. A leadoff walk yet again for the Pilots. Payne heads to first, and that'll bring up Big Mike, Michael Flaherty. So Michael Flaherty steps in to face Sam Huff here. Nick Payne on first. That one misses outside. Count is at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, and no outs. Nick Payne sits on first base. Flaherty batting .315 coming into this game for the Lots. Wearing the white and baby blues today, bringing out the retro throwback jerseys as Flaherty hits that one into left center field. That one's going to get down. Nick Payne is going to round second and head into third safely, and Flaherty extends that one into a double. So it's a no-out double for Flaherty, and that will now bring up Briggs Loveland. So something getting into the Pilots here early. They now have runners on second and third, lead 2-0, and Briggs Loveland will come up to the dish. Certainly the Pilots not the team you want to play late in the season. Taken for a strike. Counts at 0-1 to Briggs Loveland. The pitch from Huff. Swung on, and that one popped up left side. Trailing over is the third baseman right in front of the dugout, and he'll watch that one hit off the top of it. That'll push the count to 0-2 now. No balls, 2 strikes, and no outs as Briggs Loveland, the lefty from Emerson College, by way of Burleson, Texas, will step back in to face Huff. Huff with 25 pitches under his belt thus far. There's none away, and runners on second and third. Imagine for the Doubledays pitching probably at a premium right now as well as we get towards the later stretch of the season. Loveland fouls that one off to stay alive. Count still at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. And runners on second and third. So 2 runners in scoring position. And even a ball just hitting the outfield will likely score 1. Payne would speed it third, and Flaherty would speed at second. The pitch to Loveland. That one's going to come in and hit off. That one's actually going to hit off the glove and all the way to the backstop. Nick Payne comes in to score. A wild pitch, and Flaherty advances to third. So the Pilots now lead 3-0. So heads up base running there from Nick Payne on the wild pitch from the pitcher. So scoring is Nick Payne. And advancing to third is Michael Flaherty. Pilots lead 3-0 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch to Loveland. Swung on and fouled off. Loveland making this thing an at-bat. He will be awaiting pitch number 6. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, and that one hit into center field. B.J. Banyan coming underneath it, and Flaherty's going to tag. Banyan makes the play, and coming into the plate is Flaherty, and he's actually going to retreat. Well-placed throw there from Banyan. Would have certainly thrown out Flaherty at the plate. And that will now bring up Paulie Goodness with 1 away. Heads up base running from Flaherty. Saw that the throw was going to be well in time from B.J. Banyan. So Paulie Goodness steps in for the Pilots with 1 away. Flaherty on third. Pitch to Goodness misses outside. Count is at 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike and 1 away. Again, Flaherty on third. Paulie Goodness steps up, and he's been swinging a hot bat as of late, batting 175. But certainly over the course of the last couple weeks, well, out in front of that one is Paulie Goodness. The count is at 0-2. Paulie Goodness steps back in. 0-2 pitch. Misses outside. Counts at 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 away. 1-1's the count. One pitch. That one misses high. Counts at 2-1 now. So 2 balls, 1 strike. To Paulie Goodness. 2-1 pitch from Huff. In there for a strike. It's now evened up at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Huff from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, and that one fouled off Goodness's leg in the box. Count will still be at 2-2. Goodness with 9 hits on the summer for the Pilots. 8 RBI. 4 walks. Two balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 delivery from Huff. Swung on, and that one hit, and that one's going to be right through the hole between short and third. An RBI single, and Paulie Goodness stays hot for the Pilots. And back to the top of the order we go. That'll bring up Frankie DiMartino.
It's the center fielder, number 6, Frankie DiMartino.
So the Pilots score 1 more and now lead 4-0. off to an early lead here. Pilots swinging a hot bat here tonight. 4-0 your score. 2 runs in the top half of the inning. Excuse me, 2 runs in the bottom of the first and 2 runs in the bottom of the second for the Pilots. 4-0 your score now. Another pickoff attempt. Second straight one will keep Goodness at first. So Frankie DiMartino steps back in. He walked in his first at-bat and scored. First run of the ball game for the Pilots. Huff coming set the pitch. That one spiked in the dirt and off the glove of the catcher, James Bolton. So a wild pitch there. And advancing to second is Paulie Goodness. One-0 pitch, misses outside, counts at 2-0 now. Two balls, no strikes in, 1 out. As Frankie DiMartino steps back in. 2-0 pitch from Huff. Swung on, and that one smoked right at the third baseman, who knocks it down and throws over to first and just in time to beat out the speedy DiMartino. There are 2 away now. So a 5-3 ground out, and that will now bring up tonight's starting pitcher for the Pilots, Frankie Vanzalata. So Frankie Vanzalata steps in for the Pilots with 2 away. Pitch to him, misses low. Counts at 1-0 now, and Vanzalata so far has been cruising on the mound for the Pilots. Huff comes set. That one swung and popped up. Left side of the infield, trailing on over, is the third baseman, and making the play is Carson Gross. A P5 for Vanzalata will head to the top of the third inning. Pilots put up 2 runs, most notably on an RBI single from Paulie Goodness, while to the top of the third. 4-0 Pilots lead. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. On Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. It's James Bolton leading things off for the Doubledays here. The man behind the dish, catching for the Doubledays here tonight. Pitching changes, Brantley Griggs. First pitch curveball misses inside. Count is at 1-0. Imagine Vanzalata probably wasn't going to go a long ways anyways, but did more than his part keeping the Pilots in this game, and they have a 4-0 lead, which obviously when you start a position guy, probably not anticipating that, but Vanzalata did more than his part. So Griggs comes in, 1-1 pitch from Griggs. Had Bolton out in front. That one swung on and tipped into the glove. Counts at 1-2. Griggs will step off. Griggs from Cayuga Community College, and they play right there at Falcon Park in Auburn. They share a field with the Doubledays. City of Auburn owns that field. That one swung on, a little dribbler right towards Nick Payne. Going to be a hard play. The throw over, and that one is going to be scooped by Mitchell Kelly, but the throw not in time. What a great play there from Mitchell Kelly to even scoop that one in his glove. Made that play a lot closer than what it should have been, but it's an infield single for James Bolton. He will sit on first base now, and that will now bring up the second baseman, number 23, Michael Hooley. So Hooley steps in. Griggs coming set. The pitch. Missing outside. Good stop from Marcamone. Counts at 1-0 now. So 1 ball, no strikes. Top of the third inning, and Pilots lead 4-0. So far for the Doubledays, no runs on a pair of hits and 1 error. And for the Pilots, 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors. That one taken for a strike, counts at 1-1 now. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Michael Hooley. He's batting .225 coming in this game for the Doubledays. And waiting on deck is the 10-spot hitter, B.J. Banyan, the center fielder. The pitch, curveball, swung on a line, and that will find the gap between short and third. Another hit for the Doubledays, their third of the ball game. So now back-to-back base runners, and should have kept Vanzalata out there. So runners on first and second now. B.J. Banyan, the center fielder, will step in. Batting .166 for the Doubledays. Banyan steps in to face Griggs. First pitch to him. Swung on and fouled off sharply. Count is at 0-1. That one swung on and missed. Counts at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to B.J. Banyan. Who will step back in. 0-2 pitch. Misses outside. Good stop from Marcamone yet again. Counts at 1-2. Certainly doing a great job behind the dish for the Pilots here. Looking to close out the season on a high note. Briggs coming set. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball, a little dribbler right towards Briggs Loveland. He'll flip it over to Flaherty, and a little razzle-dazzle there. Score that one, a 4-6-3 double play. Razzle-dazzle from the Pilots, and now there's 2 outs. And that'll take us back to the top of the order. That'll bring up tonight's third baseman for Auburn, Carson Gross. What a play from Briggs Loveland to Flaherty and over to Kelly at first. A 4-6-3 double play, and advancing to third base on the double play was James Bolton. So 2 away now, and now Auburn looking to strike here with 2 away. That one misses outside. Count is at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to Carson Gross, who grounded out 6-3 back in the first inning against Frankie Vanzalata. Stepping up for a second at bat, the pitch from Griggs. That one fouled off sharply into the net. Counts at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Griggs, the man on the mound now for the Pilots. Brantley Griggs comes set. 1-1 delivery. That one is going to come on and hit Carson Gross in the back of the calf area there, so he'll trot to first.
Espinal.
That will now bring up Fernando Espinal, who flew out to DiMartino in center in his first at-bat. The former Cayuga Community College baseball club member, so certainly familiar with Falcon Park, and also the former Pilot, actually just announced his commitment to D2 powerhouse Lenoir Rhine down there in North Carolina. So congrats to Fernando. He steps in, sporting a .230 batting average coming in the game tonight. Runners on the corners. 1-2 pitch from Griggs. Beautiful pitch in there for a strike. Count is at 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike, 2 away. 4-0 lead for the Pilots, top of the third. Espinal with a chance here to inch the Doubledays closer. Takeoff attempt from Griggs, and diving back in safely is Carson Gross over there at first. Awaiting on deck is Hazel Martinez. No balls, 1 strike to count. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and hit down the third baseline foul just past the outstretched glove of Nick Payne. Count is now at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Griggs just needs 1 more strike to get the Pilots out of the inning. Griggs will take a look over at Gross at first. The pitch swung on and roped down the line, foul. And head coach Ben Julian can't believe it. Have to say I agree with the call on the field. No balls, two strikes now. 3 pitches to Fernando Espinal, all strikes. 2 fouls and a called one. Counts at 0-2. Griggs looking to get out of the inning and keep the Doubledays scoreless through 3. Brantley Griggs comes set, the 0-2. Curveball comes in and beans Espinal in the back. He'll head to first now, and that'll load the bases for Hazel Martinez. So bases loaded now, and now the tying run at the dish for the Doubledays. And who but Hazel Martinez, sporting a .329 batting average for the Doubledays, and certainly Pilots fans listening at home know that Hazel Martinez has some juice in that bat, so he'll step in. First pitch from Griggs. Taken for a strike, counts at 0-1, and Griggs' former teammates of Espinal and Hazel Martinez there at Cayuga Community College. Swung on, and that one hit into right field, and diving is Paulie Goodness, and making the play to end the inning. Paulie Goodness dives and lays out. A for effort for the third out of the inning. Led to the bottom of the third. 4-0 Pilots lead here on Finger Lakes One Radio and NewarkPilots.tv. As we are back here on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel. So far, Doubledays held scoreless with 3 straight innings. First pitch to Justin DiMartino from Sam Huff, misses outside, counts at 1-0. The pitch. That one taken for a strike. Count is at 1-1 now. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1-1 pitch. That one misses off the outer edge of the plate. Count is at 2-1 now. That one in there for a strike. Count is at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. That one swung on and hit right to Espinal, and a throw over to first. A 6-3 ground out to lead off the inning. And there's 1 away. That will now bring up Jack Archimone for the Pilots here. The University of Richmond, the Richmond Spiders commit. Archimone steps in for the Pilots. Had that E6, he reached down with an RBI. That one smoked down the first base line and gets right past Garrett Prosper, and that one's going to get away from the right fielder. Archimone's going to round second and head into third. It's going to be a 1-out triple for Jack Archimone. And that will now bring up Mitchell Kelly for the Pilots. So Archimone hits a triple out there for the Pilots for their 4th hit of the ball game, and he now sits 90 feet away, and that'll bring up Mitchell Kelly, who doubled and had an RBI in his first at-bat. Back in the first, that one misses low, counts it 1-0 now. So 1 ball, no strikes. That one is in there for a strike, counts at 1-1. That one swung on a miss. Count is at 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kelly. That one misses upstairs. Counts at 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 away to Mitchell Kelly. That one misses outside. Counts now 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Three-two pitch. Swung on and blooped, and that one's going to get down. Another RBI for Mitchell Kelly. An RBI single at that. And that will now bring up Gage Boatman. So Gage Boatman coming up to the dish now for the Pilots. And the Pilots now lead 5-0. So Gage Boatman steps in after the RBI single. Mitchell Kelly on first now. First pitch, misses for a ball, counts at 1-0. That one swung on and popped, fouling out of play. Counts at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. That one misses, counts at 2-1. That one misses. Counts at 3-1. Three balls, one strike. Pickoff attempt, and sliding back in safely is Mitchell Kelly. Three balls, one strike. 3-1 pitch. Curveball in there for strike three. And there are two away to Boatman. So a backwards K. And that will now bring up Nick Payne for the Pilots. So Nick Payne steps in now for the Pilots. They lead 5-0. Runner goes, and Mitchell Kelly, a stand-up stolen base. The big man can fly. A stolen base and no throw from the catcher, James Bolton. Count is at 1-0. 1-0 pitch. That one taken for a strike. Counts at 1-1 now. That one in there for a strike. Count is at 1-2. One-two pitch. Swung on and fouled off. So we'll do the 1-2 again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. Mitchell Kelly on second. Pilots lead 5-0 now. Certainly pulling out all the stops here tonight. That one popped up right side and out of play. So the count's still at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 5-0 lead for the Pilots. Pitch swung on, and that one smoked into left field. Coming on his left fielder and making the play is Christian Malillo for the final out of the inning. But the Pilots pick up one more run. They've scored in the first 3 innings. Well, at the top of the fourth, 5-0 your score here on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. We're back here on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel. Bobby Stang leading things off. First pitch misses just outside, counts at 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. We're here in the top of the 4th inning. Pilots 5-0. Curveball from Griggs taken for a strike. Counts at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 away in the top of the 4th. 1-1 pitch from Griggs. Another curveball staying out in front of it. Beautiful break from that pitch by Griggs. Counts at 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 away. We're in the top of the 4th. Pitch. That one swung on and hit out into deep left field. Trailing is the left fielder, and all the way at the wall and making the play is Justin DiMartino. An F7, and there's 1 away. And that will now bring up right fielder, number 3, A.J. Wenrich. So there's 1 away. Wenrich will step in. Struck out swinging and a 2-3 put out back in the 2nd inning. He was 1 of 2 strikeouts for Frankie Vanzalata. The pitch taken for a strike. Changeup. Counts it 0-1 to Wenrich. There is someone up and warming in the pen for the Pilots. I believe that's Pete Jocelyn, but not entirely sure. Pitch from Griggs. Fouled off. Counts it 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Griggs throwing consistent strikes here thus far. He's got a 19-7 strike-to-ball ratio. So a quick mound visit from Archimone. I think that ball might have hit off Archimone, just trying to catch his breath real quick. So no balls, 2 strikes. Wenrich steps back in. Griggs comes set. The 0-2 pitch from the righty. Curveball misses high. Counts at 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 away. 1-2 pitch from Griggs. That one just misses high. Counts at 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 away. Wenrich steps back in. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, and that one hit out into left field. Trailing yet again is Justin DiMartino. And making the play out in deep left center field. An F7 for Wenrich. There's 2 away. And that will now bring up Garrett Prosper for the Doubledays. 2 quick outs for the Doubledays, and both of them caught by Justin DiMartino out in left field. So a pair of F7s, and that'll bring up Garrett Prosper, the first baseman for the Doubledays here tonight. Singleton was left on base for the Doubledays. Was the first hit for them in the ball game. 1 for 1 on the night. That one misses high. Counts at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to Prosper. 1-0 pitch. That one, another one ripped right down the right field line. That one's going to get all the way in the corner. Prosper rounds first, and he'll head towards second. Paulie Goodness with the throw in. And it is a 2-out double from Prosper. He's second hit of the ball game for him. And that will now bring up Christian Malillo. Christian Malillo stepping up with 2 away to face Brantley Griggs here. And Prosper picked up his second hit of the ball game. 4th hit of the game for the Doubledays as well. No runs, 4 hits, 1 error for them. And for the Pilots, 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors. Pitch. Swung on, and that one hit right back at Goodness. That one's going to get down. Goodness will field it, and they're going to wave on Prosper home. The throw into the plate from the right fielder, and can't be scooped up by Archimone. Great throw from Paulie Goodness on the money, but Archimone couldn't squeeze it in his mitt. The Doubledays pick up their first run of the ball game, an RBI single from Christian Malillo. Would have been a great play from Paulie Goodness. Nonetheless, on the money throw, Archimone just couldn't squeeze it in his mitt. The Doubledays pick up their first run of the ball game. It's now 5-1. So stepping in is James Bolton to face Griggs. First pitch. Curveball just misses inside. Count is at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, and Melillo had that RBI single, and that breaks the scoreless game thus far. That one misses as well. The count is at 2-0. That one hit right to Briggs Loveland and a flip over to first. A 4-3 ground out for James Bolton. But the Doubledays pick up 1 run on an RBI single from Christian Melillo that scores Garrett Prosper. Heading to the bottom of the fourth, 5-1 your score. Here from Colburn Park on Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. We're back on Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel. First pitch from Huff to Michael Flaherty, curveball that misses high, counts at 1-0. Doubledays picked up their first run in the top half of the fourth inning. RBI single from Christian Melillo. The score's now 5-1. The 1-0 pitch from Huff. That one smoked back up the center field. That one might sound like it might have broken the bat, but Michael Flaherty picks up a base hit. His second hit of the game. And that will now bring up Briggs Loveland. And so, Doubledays head coach Ben Julian is going to relieve his pitcher. It'll be the end of the line for Sam Huff. We're going to take a break. Pitching change for the Doubledays. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. on Finger Lakes One Radio. It's Alex Bucolo on to pitch for the Doubledays. First pitch misses for a ball. Counts at 1-0 to him. That one taken for a strike. Counts at 1-1 now. Pickoff attempt has Michael Flaherty diving back in safely. The pitch misses outside. Counts at 2-1 now. Two balls, one strike. As Loveland stops back in. The 2-1 pitch. That one misses inside. The count's now at 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, and no outs. Loveland steps back in. 3-1 pitch from Bucolo. Swung on, and that one popped up third base side in foul territory. Carson Gross underneath it and makes the play. A P5 for Loveland, and there's one away. And that will now bring up Paulie Goodness. So Paulie Goodness coming up to the plate for the Pilots.
Up next, a great fielder from New York, Paulie Goodness.
So Paulie Goodness stepping up for the Pilots here with one away. Pickoff attempt. Flaherty dives back in safely. So Flaherty over on first. The pitch misses high. Counts at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes after the foul pop-up for Briggs Loveland, caught by Carson Gross. One 0 pitch. Misses high as well. Count is at 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, and 1 out. Waiting on deck is the top of the order, and Frankie DiMartino. 2-0 pitch. Taken for a strike. Good take from Paulie Goodness. That puts the count at 2-1 now. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Goodness steps in. Flaherty on first. Flaherty had that single in his last at-bat. His second hit of the ball game is 2 for 2. Goodness singled an RBI in his first at-bat. That one misses high. Counts at 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Paulie Goodness swinging a hot bat as of late for the Pilots. Three-run pitch from Bucolo. Swung a little ground ball right to Espinal, who fields it, and no play at all. It's going to be an infield single for Paulie Goodness. His second hit of the ball game as well.
Number 6, Frankie DiMartino.
So that will now bring up Frankie DiMartino here. With 1 away. So Frankie DiMartino steps in for the Pilots. Walked and scored in the first and grounded out 5-3 in his last at-bat. That one taken for a strike, counts at 0-1. Quick meeting from Bolton and Bucolo. Flaherty on second. Goodness on first. Both those men 2 for 2 on the night thus far. Bucolo comes set. 0-1 delivered to DiMartino. Swung on that one, hit, and that one getting past the outstretched glove of the second baseman. Woolley coming on home is Michael Flaherty. The throw into the plate, not in time. It's an RBI single for Frankie DiMartino. The Pilots score again, and that will bring up Frankie Vanzolata now. So the Pilots now lead 6-1. An RBI single from Frankie DiMartino. The Pilots are swinging a hot bat here tonight. They've scored in the first 4 innings. Bottom of the fourth, 6-1 your score now. Frankie Vanzalata steps in, who started the game at pitcher tonight for the Pilots. Runner goes. DiMartino's going to steal second with ease, so now runners on second and third. Vanzalata steps back in. 1-0 pitch. Misses outside. Counts at 2-0 now. 2 balls, no strikes, and 1 out. Bucolo coming set. The 2-0 pitch. Taken for a strike. So DiMartino sits on second after he stole second. Paulie Goodness on third. The 2-1 pitch from Bucolo. Curveball misses high. The count's now 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Vanzalata steps in. Threw and pitch from Bucolo. Taken for a strike. And that one looked like to be a little bit off the plate, but the count's now 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the fourth, 6-1 lead for the Pilots. Payoff pitch. Vanzalata staying alive and fouls that one off sharply. So the count is still full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Coming set, the 3-2. That one misses outside. So Vanzalata works a walk, and that'll load the bases for Justin DiMartino. So that'll bring up Justin DiMartino with the bases loaded here. No action at all in the Doubledays bullpen. So Justin DiMartino steps in with a chance to blow this thing wide open. Pilots already lead 6-1, but bases loaded, 1 away. Pitch misses outside. Counts at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, and the dangerous hitting Jack Archimon awaits on deck. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch taken on the inner half of the plate. The count is at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch. Curveball swung over the top of from Justin DiMartino. The count is at 1-2 now. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. The 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled off right up here towards the press box. So the count's at 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded for Justin DiMartino. That one swung out and hit out into left field. Trailing is the left fielder and looking up and making the play, but that one is deep enough to advance Frankie to third and score. Paulie Goodness. A sacrifice fly and an RBI for Justin DiMartino. The Pilots take a 7-1 lead. So that'll now bring up Jack Archimon, and the Pilots lead 7-1 now. Archimon steps in with runners on the corners now. That one swung out and smoked into deep center field. Trailing is the center fielder, B.J. Banyan, and making the play for the out. So 3 outs, and we will head to the top of the fifth. 7-1 your score. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. As we're back here on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. As I am joined by Pilots pitcher from Emerson College, Angelo Deere. Angelo, great to have you up here in the press box.
How we doing, Kyle? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is this working?
Yes.
All right,
Everyone
cool.
can hear you.
All right, we're beautiful. Hey, Mom. I don't know if you're watching.
So it's Michael Hooley leading things off for the Doubledays here. Pete Jocelyn on the pitch now for the Pilots.
PD.
That one bounced in the dirt from Jocelyn. Count is at 1-0 now.
How you doing today, French?
I'm doing all right, you know.
Doing all right.
Season coming down to an end. It's weird.
Yeah.
Weird times.
Pilots playing spoiler yet again. Same idea as last year. Oh,
That one's right past Nick Payne at third for a single. Actually, will be an E5. And so an E5. And advancing to first is Michael Hooley. That'll bring up B.J. Banyan for the Doubledays. 0 for 1 with a 4.63 double play. He grounded into his first at bat. Squaring a bunt is Banyan. Well placed drag bunt there down the first base line, but foul. Count is at 0-1. So across the board, 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error for the Doubledays. And 7 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for the Pilots. That one misses low. Throw down from Arkamo, not in time. A stolen base for Michael Hooley. So the count's at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs. Doubledays have a runner on second base. B.J. Banyan in the batter's box. Batting 166 coming into this game. Jocelyn coming set. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, and that one hit right towards Flaherty at short, and a throw over to first. 6-3 ground out for Banyan, but advancing 90 feet to third base is Michael Hooley. And that will now bring up Carson Gross. Grounded out 6-3 in the first and was hit by a pitch and left on base in the third inning. So Carson Gross steps in 0 for 1 on the night, batting 227 coming into this game. So 6-3 ground out. There's one away. The pitch swung on and popped up. Flaherty underneath it. This one's going to be a tough play. Flaherty makes the grab. So P6 and 2 quick outs for the Pilots.
Look
Once
at Petey
again.
go. Look at Petey go. Good for Peter. Oh, former Pilot.
Yeah, former Pilot, former teammate of yours.
Good buddy of mine.
Fernando.
Good buddy of
He's
mine.
on enemy territory now.
Yeah, he's talked a little smack earlier, just all good fun, but good ball player. Not happy that he's on the other team, but you know.
So Fernando steps in with 2 away, and once again the Doubledays getting a leadoff base runner and 2 quick outs. Pitch from Jocelyn, swung on and line back up to center. It'll be an RBI single for Fernando Espinola, his first hit of the ball game, and the score is now 7-2.
Up next, the designated hitter, number 29, Hazel Martinez.
That will now bring up Hazel Martinez for the Pilots.
Another former
for the Doubledays.
You messed up there.
I did
You
that.
messed
Yeah, I
up
did.
there.
So 7-2 your score now with 1 out. That one's going to get to the backstop, and it's going to be a wild pitch from Jocelyn. Advancing to second is Fernando Espinal on the wild pitch. So there's 2 away. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Hazel Martinez steps in. Your score, 7-2 now in favor of the Newark Pilots. But Doubledays creeping back in this one.
Come on, Pete.
We're going to see you come in and close this one out, Angelo?
No. I will not be pitching today. I'm pitching tomorrow, actually.
So 2 balls, no strikes, and Angelo's going to get the start tomorrow in Elmira at Dunn Field.
Good old Elmira.
The Dunn.
The Dunn. I heard that was where somebody like really famous got married. Oh gosh, what's that guy's name? He was the coach of the Yankees in like that epic brawl that he got thrown on his head. Don Zimmer.
Don Zimmer, there you go.
He got married on that
for
field.
a strike. So 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
Hazel Martinez steps in. Pair of flyouts for him. 1 to DiMartino in center. And look at Frankie playing in right center field as it is already. So shift on.
Oh, shift.
That one misses low. Good stop from Archimone. Count is at 3-1 now.
I mean,
no action in the Pilot's pen either.
Wouldn't you shift?
Well, yeah, Hazel does pull the ball a lot. I honestly don't know if I've ever seen Hazel go oppo.
Oh, ball 4.
Ball 4 for Hazel. So that'll now bring up Bobby Stang for the Doubledays. Extra hitter, a strikeout swing in the second, and a fly out to left in the fourth.
That was one of the furthest and highest fly balls I've seen hit in a very long time.
Yeah.
What he did last at bat.
And it was a great play from Justin DiMartino.
Yeah.
Pete Jocelyn getting away with kind of like it could have been called a balk there.
Little sketch there. We'll take it.
I think
we'll
that
take
could have
it.
been a balk.
We'll take it.
But advancing back is Fernando Espinal. That brings up number 30, Bobby Stang, with 2 outs here. Pitch fouled off from Stang, counts it 0-1. And again, once again, Pilots in the driver's seat and looking to play spoiler late in the season.
It happens every year.
You know,
I don't know why.
I'd say I don't think you'd want to play, other than Amsterdam, I don't think you'd want to play the Pilots late in the season. It seems like the Pilots hit a different groove once the last couple of weeks start to roll around.
Yeah, it's really weird. Last year was the same way. I mean, we had a couple really big wins toward the end against teams that were
pop foul out of play. Counts it 0-2.
That were basically locked for the playoffs, and then we spoiled their chances. So it seems to be a common thread here. as Pilots.
So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 away.
Come on, Pete.
Bobby Stang steps back in. Jocelyn coming set. The 0-2 pitch. Misses low. Not a bad 0-2 spot for Jocelyn. Stang has swung at a couple low breaking pitches.
No, you don't want
First
to. You
few
never want to
at-bats.
be. You never want to be too good 0-2 because that's when you give up those 2 out hits or 2 strike hits, and those always hurt a little bit more because you feel like you have a guy, and then he just figures out a way to get a hit off of you. So I don't mind him bouncing it there.
1-2 pitch from Jocelyn. Another
That was
good miss
another really
there.
good pitch. That was a really good pitch.
I have to imagine Archimone obviously probably calling the shots behind the dish, but noticing that that Bobby Stang likes to swing at those low pitches.
He's a very aggressive. He's a very free swinging.
I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, he leads all of the PGCBL in RBIs, and I want to pull up the correct number, but it's 20-something RBIs. That one fouled off from Stang.
He's definitely one of those guys where it's if you make the good pitch, he's so aggressive that you will get him to swing. But then later in the counts, he becomes defensive.
So I was wrong. It's actually 34 RBIs for Stang on the summer. He leads the entire PGCBL with 34 RBIs on the summer. Only 34 RBIs. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And funny enough, Hazel Martinez right behind him on the team at 28. Stang is going to add 1 more RBI as Espinal rounds home. It's going to be an RBI single for Stang, his 35th RBI of the summer. And the score is now 3-7.
That pitch just caught too much plate there, French. Too much plate.
That will now bring up A.J. Wenrich, number 3. He's playing right field for the Doubledays here tonight. 7-3 your score now. First pitch to Wenrich popped up. Coming on is Nick Payne, who'll scoop it and have no play. That's going to be an E5 yet again on Payne. Base is loaded now. And that'll bring up Prosper. 2 for 2 with a single and a double. And trotting out is Pilot Skipper.
Again, fans, the final home game for the Pilots is Saturday against the Geneva Red Wings. That is a 7:05.
So it's going to be a mound visit. They're going to chat with Jocelyn. Another error for Payne at third, his second error of the game.
Just try to do too much too quickly there.
And there was really no need to rush. I mean, Wenrich was kind of already walking.
Quick shout out to our buddy Landon White. I think he's watching the stream, but yeah, him and Dom Camera headed out early.
NECBL right now.
Playing in the NECBL.
So the mound visit has dispersed. I'll tell you what, Frankie Vanzalata looked really good on the mound earlier on tonight.
Frankie Vans is.
I'm surprised they didn't let him go longer than 2 innings.
Frankie Vans is a stud pitcher.
Final stat line for him: 2 innings of work, 1 hit, 20-7 strike to ball ratio.
Wow.
2 strikeouts as well.
That's really impressive.
You know, and one of those strikeouts was Bobby Stang, the PGCBL
that was a really
leader
good
in
at
RBI.
bat. That was a really good at bat for Mr. Vanzalata.
That pitch misses outside, counts at 1-0 to Prosper. One ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch.
Base is loaded here.
Slider just misses inside. Count is at 2-0 now. 2 balls, no strikes.
This is one of the biggest points in the game right there. Got to get an out here.
The lefty Jocelyn will come set. Base is loaded, 2 away. The 2-0 pitch. That slider dropped in there. Counts at 2-1 now. Two balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Jocelyn coming set yet again, looking to get out of the jam here. 2 runs already home for the Doubledays. The pitch. Slider drops in there. That slider's looking pretty good for Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete. Yeah, he's got a pretty good feel for it right now, I'd say so.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Prosper steps back in. Pilots a strike away from getting out of the bases loaded jam. We'll see if Jocelyn can deliver. 2-2 pitch from Jocelyn. That slider is swung on and roped out into center field. Trailing is Paulie Goodness. near the wall, but he'll make the grab. An F9, and Pete Jocelyn gets out of trouble. But the Doubledays pick up 2 more runs, top of the 5th. It's now 7-3. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. We're back here, bottom of the 5th inning, 7-3 your score on Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. It'll be Mitchell Kelly leading things off for the Pilots. You want to talk about hot bats? Mitchell Kelly, 2 for 2 here tonight, and 2 RBIs, a double in his first at-bat and an RBI single in his last at-bat. That double was an RBI as well. Left on base both times. Kelly steps in, sporting a .271 batting average coming into the game tonight. And that one misses low. Count is at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bucolo out for another inning of work for the Doubledays. The Pilots have scored in every inning thus far. 2 in the first inning, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. So looking to keep that scoring train rolling. Fastball taken for a strike. As Alex Bucolo flexing the velo there. Counts at 1-2. 1-2 pitch from Bucolo. Curveball comes and hits Kelly right in the back. So hit by pitch, and he's on base for the 3rd time here tonight. And that will bring up the Pilots veteran, Gage Boatman. So Gage the Wall Boatman coming up to the plate for the Pilots. A lot of Pilots swinging a hot bat lately. Gage Boatman, one of those Pilots. Pitch. Misses high. Counts at 1-0. Kelly on first with none away. Was hit by a pitch to lead off the inning. And Nick Payne waits on deck for the Pilots. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled right back into the net. The count's at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs. Gage Boatman will step back up for the Pilots here. That one swung on a line and just past the diving glove of Carson Gross. So Gage the Wall Boatman delivers. Pilots have back-to-back base runners, and that will now bring up Nick Payne for the Pilots here. So Nick Payne coming up to the dish now for the Pilots, with the first 2 runners getting on base. Mitchell Kelly on second. And don't let the size fool you. Mitchell Kelly has secret sneaky speed there at second. And squaring to bunt is Nick Payne, and that's a perfect bunt right down the third base line, and slipping and falling is Bucolo. It's going to be a bunt single for Nick Payne, and that'll bring up London, Michael Flaherty from London, England. Big Michael. They call him London. He's got a million nicknames, and his brother Tommy Flaherty has flown across the pond, and he's now with the Pilots as well. Tommy Flaherty wearing number 23 for the Pilots.
All right, I'm back.
Anything you got to say about London?
Stud.
I agree.
That's
Absolute stud.
that's
He
simple.
is 0 for 1. He's 2 for 2 on the night for the Pilots.
We actually play his brother in school ball. His brother plays in my conference. So
There
that
you
was
go.
fun to know today. That was a fun little fact I found out today.
Pitch.
Oh, that one's a
This is
little
inside. Counts at 2-0 now. 2 balls, no strikes. Bases loaded for the Pilots and no outs. The
Yeah.
lots are hot here tonight, huh? What do you think about that?
I'm not a fan of the talking too early because this is baseball and you never know what's going to happen. But we are off to a pretty good start. I'll say that much. Ooh.
2-0 pitch. Misses outside. The count's at 3-0 now. And Michael Flaherty.
London.
Big London.
Big London.
Big London. Big Michael.
He does have a bunch of nicknames.
3-0 pitch. Misses low, and that will walk in a run.
We'll take it.
12 run scores.
We will take it. Who's batting?
And that will bring up Briggs
Brigham.
Loveland.
Brigham.
Number 12, Briggs Loveland.
And it actually looks like Bucolo's night will be over. We're going to take a break. Pitching change for the Doubledays. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. First pitch to Briggs Loveland. Misses outside for a ball. The count is at 1-0. And trying to get a number on the pitcher. It's number 10. So a pitching change for the Doubledays. As it is number 10. That's Luke Lee coming on to pitch for the Doubledays here. That one fouled off from Loveland. The count is at 2-1 now. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two 2-1 pitch. Misses inside. That's going to get to the backstop. A wild pitch. And scoring is Gage Boltman. The Pilots now lead 9-3. So a wild pitch and a run scores. Gage Boltman trotting on home. And advancing 90 feet is both Nick Payne to third. And that will actually send Loveland to first base as well. First pitch taken for a strike, counts at 0-1 to Paulie Goodness. 2 for 2 on the night. Single with an RBI in the second, and Singleton scored in the fourth. That one fouled off the mask of the catcher. Counts at 0-2 quickly to Paulie. No outs for the Pilots here, and they lead 9-3, and they've scored in every inning. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and 2 in both the fourth and fifth innings. It's 9-3 now. Pilots playing a great brand of baseball here tonight. That one misses outside and gets away from catcher, who quickly corrals it. 9-3 your score. Count is at 1-2 to Paulie Goodness. And Pilots trying to inch closer to that mercy run rule. That one swung on a hit out into left field. Trailing is the left fielder, and making the catch and tagging is Nick Payne. And coming on in home, it's a sacrifice fly and an RBI. Paulie Goodness delivers yet again his second RBI of the game. Christian Malillo made the play out there. That will now bring up Frankie DiMartino for the Pilots here. So Frankie DiMartino coming up to the plate for the Pilots. Pilots now lead 10-3. First pitch taken for a strike, counts at 0-1. 10-3 your score. Counts at 0-1 to Frankie DiMartino. And stepping off is the pitcher Luke Lee, coming on in relief of Alex Bucolo. Final stat line for him: 1 inning of work, 4 hits, 4 runs, and 2 walks. Oh, 1 pitch, misses outside. Counts at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out to Frankie DiMartino, who's 1 for 2 on the night. He had a single with an RBI in his last at bat in the fourth. Looking to do the same here. Pilots lead 10-3 now with 1 out and runners on first and second. That one swung on and roped out into left field. Trailing is Malillo and making the grab. Unfortunate break there for Frankie, is lined right at Christian Malillo for the second out. An L7 for Frankie. And that'll now bring up Frankie Vanzalata with 2 outs here for the Pilots. So Frankie Vanzalata steps in with 2 away. Runners on first and second. 0 for 2 on the night. Walked in his last at bat. That pitch misses low. Counts at 1-0 to Frankie Vanzalata. That one taken on the outer half of the plate. Counts at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. As Frankie Vanzalata steps back in. One pitch. Swung on and missed. Counts at 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Luke Lee trying to get the Doubledays out of the inning here, trailing by only 7. Runners on first and second. The pitch swung on and hit right back to Lee. He'll throw it over to Prosper at first. The 1-3 ground out for Vanzalata for the 3rd out of the inning. We'll head to the top of the 6th inning. 10-3 lead for the Pilots. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv.
we are back here on Finger Lakes Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel as Kyle French is taking a break. So it's going to be Jack Gannon and Michael Walsh here
Union man.
Hey guys, happy to be here.
for the top of the 6th inning as Pete Jocelyn steps in and throws strike one to start this inning off. Walsh, how you doing today, huh?
Doing well. Through today, felt pretty good. Hopefully, can get back out there a couple times before the season ends.
Yeah, I mean, we miss you out there.
Yeah,
Here's the second pitch, and Pete drops a nice little curveball in there for strike two. Look at Pete dealing today, huh?
no better side in baseball than Pete Jocelyn throwing it.
You got to love it.
Yeah,
When he's pounding that zone, there's no one better out there, huh? Here's the third pitch, and that's a ball low and away. Count goes to 1-2 on Christian Mielo, who's 1 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a single with an RBI.
what do you think about our City Connect uniforms we're wearing today?
All the little throwbacks.
Yeah,
You should wear them more often.
I disagree.
You don't like them?
Absolutely not.
They're a little big, but other than
Way
that,
too
they're
big.
nice.
Way too big.
Pete's not happy with his fourth pitch there. His count goes to 2-2, even though it doesn't say on the board. Pete comes in, looks at the sign, feels good about it, comes set, winds and delivers, and foul tipped right off his foot. Never feels good right there,
Nope.
especially when you're throwing like Pete.
Humming it in there.
Yeah, it looks good tonight.
Yeah, I don't mind that. 3 more runs, get home early, get some pizza.
Yeah, the boys are swinging good bats tonight. And here's a weak ground ball third. Nick Payne charges, makes a play, throws over to first and got him.
Nick Payne,
In time.
man.
What
Look
a
at Nick
play.
Payne.
Look at her over there.
The Payne train.
That's awesome out of Payne right there.
Nick Payne, the catfish.
What a play out of Nick Payne to charge. No, the normal catcher over there is doing a great job at third thus far.
Yeah, low on men. Sometimes you got to play some positions you're not too comfortable with. As Pete gets set here.
And strike one.
Just painting corners.
Gotta love being up in counts. He's doing a great job as he's facing James Bolton, who's the catcher tonight for Auburn Doubledays, 1 for 2 with a single and a 4-3 ground out. Likes the sign he gets, comes set, and here's the pitch. Curveball, check swing. Did he go? Pete wants a check. No, he did not. As the count goes to 1-1.
I was trying to think of any artist there to.
Oh, all right. We got Cam Kingsley warming up in the Pilots bullpen over there. What were you saying there, Walsh?
I was trying to think of some famous artists to compare to Pete Jocelyn tonight, as he seems to be painting the corners, and I couldn't think of one off the top of my head. Bob Ross,
Bob Ross.
Da Vinci, that works.
There's a bunch of good options. That's it. That pitch is
Michelangelo.
followed straight back.
Michelangelo is actually my favorite Ninja Turtle. I don't know if a lot of people know that.
Yeah, you were talking about it yesterday. It's actually the background on your phone.
It is. Yep.
Here's the set and the delivery. Curveball outside. Evens up at 2-2.
Besides being the ninja or a turtle, we have pretty similar hobbies. We like cheese pizza.
Yeah, extra cheese.
We both own nunchucks. I'm just kidding.
Here's the set, the delivery. Ground ball third. Nick Payne charges, steps on the bag, throws over to first. Great play over there by Mitch.
Look at Nick Payne.
Nick Payne's getting some action here today. There's 2 quick outs for Pete Jocelyn. Brings up Michael Woolley, 1 for 2 on the day, hitting 225 on the year. Single in the third inning, E5 in the fifth.
Pete Jocelyn looks like he's letting the hair grow out a little bit.
I like it. Good look.
Yeah. I saw a picture yesterday. You once had some hair too.
I did. One day back in time. Setting the pitch. Strike one. Backdoor breaking ball.
Golden Glove Payne.
Golden Glove
As-
Payne,
as
as our
many
PA
refer
announcer
to
is
him.
saying. Another breaking ball doesn't quite get the back door there. 1-1. Pete's looking for a nice 1-2-3 inning here, and hopefully the boys can put 3 up in the bottom half. Send us home early.
Well, no, I believe we have. Oh, you're right. Yep.
And here's a line drive out to left field, which will drop in for a single for Michael Woolley. Good play out there to get that ball in quick. Now BJ Bain's going to hit. He's 0 for 2 on the night. 166 on the year. A little 4.63 double play and a 6.3 ground out thus far.
Wouldn't mind another ground out here.
Yeah, you gotta like ground outs. Nothing wrong with them. Winds and delivers. Strike. Oh, it's ground out to short. Flaherty goes the easy way to second, and that will conclude the top of the 6th inning. Good inning
Called it.
out of there,
We
Pete.
called it.
Yeah, we did. That will be all for this half inning. We'll be back on Finger Lakes Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel.
.com.
As we are back here in the bottom of the 6th, Frenchie continues to take his break tonight, and me and Michael Walsh will continue.
Happy to be back here.
Yeah, gotta love it. We got Justin DiMartino leading off here. Great hitter, great kid too. His first pitch of the inning is fastball outer half.
Me and Justin still are the roommates left in the townhouses. Our numbers are thinning now.
They're thinning for everyone, as you can tell. Oh, there's a great swing out to left, bringing the left fielder back, but he's going to get there just in time. There's a good swing out of Justin, but he's not going to get rewarded for it.
He's due for a couple hits. That stinks.
Yeah, he's been swinging a good bat.
A lot of hard lineouts.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for if you're a hitter. It just stinks. It's not falling for him right now. Here comes Archimon, who had a great swing earlier in the game with that triple out to right.
Us as pitchers, though, we don't mind that.
Oh, we love it, especially for the first out.
Absolutely. One or two pitches in.
Yeah. Archimon is getting ready to go here. See if he can add another hit to his total tonight. He's hitting 329 on the year, Walshy.
That's pretty good.
There's fastball, strike one.
Me, you, and Archimon actually took a trip down to Frankie Vangeletto's
Lake House.
yesterday.
Yeah, beautiful spot.
Nice little off day.
Justin
Retreat.
DiMartino was there too.
Yep.
There's another fastball ripped down the right field line. Fair ball. He's going to get going. That ball is going to go all the way to the wall. Jack Archimon's moving. He's rounded second, and he's going to hold up there with a stand-up double for Jack Archimon with one out here in the bottom of the 6th. Great swing out of him. Almost the same thing as the last one. It's a great swing out of Archimon. Huh, Walsh?
He's got a really good swing.
Yeah, he does. University of Richmond product as of next year. See if that can get our little 3-run rally started here, huh, Walsh?
Yep. Wouldn't mind. Laurinaitis at the end of the booth is hoping for some 3 runs as well.
He's excited over there. We got Mitch Kelly coming up now, who's 2 for 2 on the night with a double, single, and a hit batter.
He's turned it on towards the back half of this season.
Yeah, he's been finding some good barrels, and there's the quick move.
That might have been a little bit of a balk there.
A little jump
A
there.
little twitchy. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mitch wants time here. Mitch has got to calm down here. He's going to clean his eyes.
Well, I think that move freaked everybody out a little bit. I jumped out of my seat a little bit.
Now the catcher's going out there to talk to the pitcher.
Well,
Everyone's just a little bit shell-shocked by what they saw. Mitch looks ready to go now, though.
Gage Bowman waiting on deck, one of your last remaining.
He is my
roommates.
last roommate. I had
Question, though. Do you guys still share the room, or now that Colt is gone, has someone moved in?
This is going to be the first night we're going to be sleeping in it. He's been with his family on the road, and we were at the lake house. As Mitch fouls off strike one. As Mitch Kelly's got 28 total ribbies on the year, which is our team lead. 2 ribbies tonight.
18, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh. Oh, Archimon's twitching out there over on second. Here's the pitch. Goes right by him for strike 2. Auburn looked very thrilled about that one.
I'm not too sure if they were getting that excited if this is a regular pitcher.
Yeah, I'm going to look. As it sets and pitches and pops out to second. Moving around, ball's drifting on him, and he settles under it to make the second out of the inning. Which will bring up Gage Boatman.
Cage, the wall Boatman now batting.
Not the wall tonight. He is only the DH tonight. But he's also got a solid walk-up song.
Maybe it's Gage trying to hit it to the wall Boatman tonight.
I like that.
If you will.
I like that.
If you don't mind.
He was all excited. He went to visit Cooperstown
Oh,
yesterday.
very nice. I've been there before.
Yeah, I've been a couple times.
You played in the Little League tournaments there, didn't you?
Yeah, when I was 12 years old. Yeah, you
Likewise.
might have been right, Walsh. This guy's only got 5 innings pitched this year for Auburn.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great place to go visit, especially with the family.
Yep.
Here's the wind and the pitch. Fastball outer half, just outside. 1-1. Pilots are trying to play a little spoiler here as the Doubledays are still fighting for that last playoff spot. There's a swing. It's flown out to center. Looks like center field's got a read on it. That's going to end our inning here. 10-3 Pilots, concluding of the 6th inning here on Finger Lakes TV and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel.
.com.
We are back here on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Kyle French returning to the broadcast booth. Jack Gannon might have a future in this in the future. in broadcasting. Same with Michael Walsh. Great B team, I'll say, to have up here in the broadcast booth. I'm just messing with you guys. Definitely great always to have the players up here in the broadcast booth. Certainly they make it a much more fun experience up here, having all the guys interviewing them throughout the season. Going to miss them when they leave come the end of the week. So first pitch to Carson Gross, taken for a strike. And a pitching change for the Pilots as Cam Kingsley coming on to pitch now for the Pilots here. From St. John Fisher. That one misses for a ball. Count is at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. And no outs to the leadoff man, Carson Gross. Kingsley winds and deals the 1-1. Swung on, and this one popped up. Flaherty not having to move much. Back pedals into center. Shallow center at that. P6 for Flaherty. And that will now bring up Fernando Espinal for the Pilots. For the Doubledays. I have to stop saying Espinal plays for the Pilots. I'm living in the past.
Yeah, we all miss it, but
I know. You can tell.
It's hard to see him in the Auburn uniform.
First pitch from Kingsley to Espinal. Misses outside. Count is at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to Espinal. That one misses outside as well. Counts at 2-0 now. So 2 balls, no strikes, and 1 out. Espinal will step back in. That one taken for a strike. Counts at 2-1 now. So 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out to Espinal. Kingsley has a 6.75 ERA and 10.2 innings of work for the Pilots on the summer.
He's been very solid.
2-1 pitch, trails in and almost hits Espinal, but Archimon catches it in the glove. The count's at 3-1 to Espinal, the second batter this inning. There's 1 away.
The standoff man.
Standoff man, Cam Kingsley.
The standoff man.
How late were they standing off till?
5 a.m. They were outside till 5
a.m. So they were standing, that was at Geneva. They were standing in McDonough Park, John Sloan Field at McDonough Park. That one swung on a miss, counts full 3-2.
That was a 10-hour.
They started from the anthem.
Yes.
At, was it 7 o'clock?
No,
that doubleheader.
That game was I want to say, yeah, it was a 7:05 start.
It was 7:05 start. So they started at 7:05 and finished at 5:05. Espinal works a walk with 1 out. That'll now bring up the designated hitter number 29 and also a former Pilot, Hazel Martinez. Now playing college baseball, Union College in Tennessee.
Kentucky.
No, it's Tennessee.
I'm pretty sure it's Kentucky.
It's Tennessee.
Are we gonna argue this right now? Because I'm pretty sure it's Kentucky.
I promise you it's Tennessee. You can look it up if you want.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm gonna let everyone at home know that you're wrong, but it's Tennessee. That one misses up high.
My mom's asleep, so she won't get to make fun of me for this in the morning.
So 1 ball, no strikes to Hazel Martinez. And make sure it's not the Union College in New York.
Yeah, well,
There's
that's
one in New York too.
Schenectady. That's a word. That's a word.
Kingsley steps off. 1 ball, no strikes.
How would I figure this? Oh, Hazel Martinez baseball.
Throw down. Runner goes.
Strike.
Was called a strike as well. Count is at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Hazel Martinez.
Oh, Kentucky. I was right.
No, it's Tennessee.
It's literally KY. Like, what else do you want?
Tennessee.
Union College KY.
That's
Hazel
Tennessee.
Martinez. What?
1 ball, 1 strike, and 1
me?
out. As Hazel Martinez steps back in.
For those listening at home, Kyle French is wrong. He just does not want to admit it.
That one misses outside. The count's at 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out. The 2-1 pitch.
Oh, that one got inside. The 3-1 pitch to Martinez.
from Kingsley. Taking on the outer half,
Wow.
get 3 and 2. So I will admit I was wrong. Union University is in Tennessee.
Yeah, I can see why you got those two confused there, Kyle. But you were wrong. So
Hey,
I just want
Kentucky
to.
and Tennessee are practically the same thing.
I
They're
like
right
that
next
it's.
to each
I
other.
love that it's on record. I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna clip it, and I'm gonna save that.
That one misses high. So if Martinez works a 1-out walk, he'll head to first. And that one I'll bring up the extra hitter, Bobby Stang.
Kept quiet today, right?
It's funny enough that I think that's probably the 1 out of 10 times that you're right and I'm wrong.
Yeah, but
It's a very rare occurrence.
that 1 out of 10 times is recorded.
Yeah,
it's on
and
record.
It's the time that you'll never let me hear the end of it. So.
No, you will. That will be in your ear for the rest of your life and played at your wedding.
So extra hitter number 30, Bobby Stang.
Oh, big hack.
Swung on, and that one's popped up. Coming on
Mitchell
over is Mitchell
does have
Kelly.
room.
And Kelly makes the
good
play. Fadeaway catch from Mitchell Kelly's. A foul pop-up. There's 2 away now.
Showing a little athleticism there over there at first base from the big fella.
Does that one now bring up the right fielder, number 3, A.J. Wenrich.
What are your thoughts, Kyle, on the what seems to be Newark Pilots City Connect jerseys always coming out the last
I
week?
like them. I like the baby blues. I'm a fan of them. I think they should wear them off. Honestly, I would be more of a fan if they used the baby blues as the road alternate instead of the navies. I would prefer like that baby blue color is like the primary color for the road jerseys instead of the navy. I would be a big fan of that.
See, I'm a bigger fan of the navies than the whites. I like
No.
the navy.
I'm not saying that these are the away jerseys. I'm saying that the primary color. So like instead of the navy blue, the whole jersey, it's that baby blue. I'm saying if
just
you wore
switch
that
'em?
as like your regular away jersey color.
Interesting.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Interesting.
1-1 pitch. Little.
We got a swing there. Do we have a
And
swing on
as
that?
Angelo
We
Deere would
do.
say, doors.
Doors.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Actually, I think that's more of a sword.
That's a sword right through the doors, right?
Yeah, per definition.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Cam Kingsley is 1 strike at getting out of this inning.
He's a horse, man. He's a big boy. He throws really hard, too. Can't be easy facing P8 and then coming to Cam Kingsley.
1-2 pitch.
Yep.
Taken, strike 3. Cam Kingsley gets out of the inning. The Doubledays strand 2. We head to the bottom of the 7th. 10-3. Pilots lead. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. As we are back here, Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Nick Payne steps in to lead off this inning. First pitch taken for a strike, counts at 0-1. 10-3 Pilots lead, bottom of the 7th. Hey, far from over, though.
Very far from over, Kyle. I've seen a lot of crazy things in my 2 years here with the Newark Pilots, and one thing that I've learned is no lead is ever safe.
2 straight strikes to Nick Payne. The 0-2 pitch from Lee. That one misses outside. Count is at 1-2 now.
Speaking of Nick Payne, last home game we had, I believe it was against Geneva. Do you remember the hidden ball trick?
I
that he
do. They
pulled off?
pulled off the hidden ball trick in that victory against Geneva. Nick
Back
Payne
at
out in front of that one, but Malillo doesn't have to move much. It's hit right at Malillo for an F7. There's one away, and that'll now bring up Michael Flaherty.
Big Michael.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
I didn't know that there was another Flaherty. Like looking at,
Ironically, his brother is bigger than him.
I know, and he's younger. But it was weird because like they look like you can tell they're brothers just by looking at them.
I don't think so. I don't
I
think
can
they look
tell.
alike at all.
Least I can tell.
I don't think they look alike.
Yeah, I met Tommy for the first time today, and I tell you what, Tommy is like Flaherty is big.
He's a unit, dude.
Tommy is like
He's a
Flaherty,
unit.
like looks like Flaherty on roids, pretty much. Like
He's a unit.
He's yoked. That one taken for a strike, counts at 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's 0-2, right? 0-2.
Yeah, 0-2.
No balls, 2 strikes to Flaherty.
Hey, lock it in.
0-2 pitch.
Oh.
Swung on and missed. 3 pitches to Michael Flaherty. Goes down on strikes for the second out. And that'll now bring up Briggs Loveland.
Oh,
So Briggs Loveland from Emerson College will come up. Bottom of the 7th, 2 quick outs for Luke Lee.
Brigham.
Your college teammate, Briggs Loveland. I mean,
That is also
Briggs,
my roommate.
Briggs has been swinging a hot bat as of late as well.
He figured it out. I don't know what it was. I'm not a hitter. I'm also not Briggs. I will tell you one thing though. He
Also
swings
finding himself in the
hard.
lineup a lot more too.
He
So that
swings.
certainly once you start to see more pitches, it's hard when you only play one game and then you're off for a couple days and then you play. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're consistently getting the reps and opportunities, you see more pitches, you start to adjust.
No, for sure. But
And going from college to swinging, from metal to wooden, that's obviously a big transition too.
yeah, that can't be easy. I'm very happy I don't have to deal with that.
No balls, 1 strike. That one misses outside. Counts at 1-1 to Loveland. There's already quickly 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. 10-3 your score for the Pilots. 10 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. Loveland smokes that one right at the second baseman. It's going to bounce off his knee, and that's going to be an infield single for Briggs Loveland. Briggs smoked that one right at the second baseman, and it bounced off his knee. Nothing he could do about that one. And that'll now bring up Briggs Loveland.
Holy goodness.
Excuse me.
Oh my goodness. Are you rattled because you were wrong?
Maybe just a little bit. You don't have to. You don't have to keep ripping on me. It's mean, man.
No, I'm not. I'm kidding, buddy. I'm just kidding.
First pitch misses high. Count is at 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Angelo is like the kid that you play in a video game. You beat him 70 times out of 70 of 71 times, and that one time he beats you, he never lets you hear the end of it.
You're 100% right. I also am really bad at video games, so that would explain a lot.
So 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch taken for a strike. Count is at 1-1. 1
You're not gonna
ball,
let me have
1
one
strike,
thing,
and 2
Kyle.
outs. I'll let you have 1 victory.
One
That's
victory.
it.
Come on. Last 2 years, I haven't
Just
gotten
know,
one
just
victory.
know that you started this war. So I will finish it. The
It is
1-1 pitch
It is a war of
swung
attrition.
on and hit out into center field. Trailing over is Banyan and making the grab. So Pilots strand 1. Briggs Loveland gets a single. He's stranded on first base. We'll head to the top of the 8th inning. 10-3 your score on Finger Lakes 1 Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Back here on Finger Lakes One Radio, Garrett Prosper leading things off for the Doubledays. First
Oh,
pitch
we are so
swung
back,
on
Kyle.
and missed. Counts at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, and no outs. Prosper steps in. 0-1 pitch.
Oh, good
Just
spot.
misses low. That was a
I'm
great spot
not-
from Kingsley.
I-
Counts at 1-1.
I'm not sure about that one there, Kyle. I'm not sure about that one.
Prosper 2 for 3 on the night. Singled in the second, doubled in the fourth, and scored, and flew out to right in the fifth in his last at bat. Kingsley comes set. The 1-1 pitch from him. Swung on, and that one popped up down the left field line, coming on over in foul territory and making the play.
Did he catch it? Oh,
They didn't catch it. It
Wow.
looked as if Justin DiMartino made the play. I heard a yes.
Yeah, I heard
down there.
something.
So
I wasn't too sure.
that ball was
Hell of an
dropped
effort,
by
though.
DiMartino. Didn't make the play in foul territory.
Heck of an
Amazing
effort.
speed to run over and get towards that one, though.
He covered a lot of ground there,
He did
Kyle.
cover a lot of
Quite
ground.
impressed by it.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes now. The 1-2 pitch misses inside. Counts now 2-2.
Cam Kingsley on for a second inning of work here. Hoping to keep the Pilots where they're at.
2-2.
Oh, that pitch is up. Looked like a fastball up there. Not a bad pitch.
Counts
but
at 3-2 now.
the payoff pitch from Kingsley. Swung on and fouled down the left field line again. Nick Payne. Oh, just missed it. Real good effort again on a ball in foul territory. Count stays full. All right, and we'll do it again here on 3-2. Kingsley kicks, deals. Slider pulled down the right field line and foul. So we'll do it again. I believe we're working on pitch 8 here of the setback. So got a battle brewing.
That should be fine. That should be fine, yeah.
The pitch? Upstairs, ball 4.
So that will now bring up Christian Malillo after the leadoff walk for Prosper. Malillo's 1 for 3 here tonight. Grounded out 5-3 back in the 6th inning in his last at bat. That one's going to come on and hit Malillo in the back of the knee. He's going to be limping.
Yeah, that one doesn't feel too good, Kyle. That one doesn't feel good. None of them do.
Malillo can barely stand right now. He is withering in pain. Hope he's all right. And Malillo is going to come out of the game. There's going to be a pinch runner probably for him. He's going to head back to the dugout. We hope he's all right.
Always tough getting hit in the back of the knee. That's never a good spot, especially with somebody throwing like Cam. That's not going to feel good. Hope he's okay, for real.
There's going to be a pinch runner for the Doubledays.
34.
Number 34 pinch running for Malillo. So he's hit by a pitch. That'd be Emil Sander pinch hitting for Malillo. Pinch running, excuse me. That one taken for a strike. Counts at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Kingsley comes set. Pitch.
Watch your lips, Cam. That ball is hit right up the middle. Frankie's going to try and throw him out at home. Oh,
That one's going to get all the way to the backstop.
just up the line. Archimon couldn't get a body on it.
An RBI single there
Tough
for
bid.
Bolton. And that'll now bring up Michael Hooley. Scores now 10-4 with no outs and runners on the corners. Runners at second and third, excuse me.
We got a little bit of action going down in the Pilots bullpen. I believe that is Owen Donahue starting to throw for the Pilots.
No outs here. First pitch.
Slider, good pitch.
Taken for a strike. Good pitch from Kingsley there. Counts at 0-1 to Hooley. So your score is now 10-4 in the top of the eighth inning. Pilots lead the Doubledays. Kingsley coming set. The 0-1 delivery. Bounced in the dirt. That one's going to get the backstop. A wild pitch. And
wild pitch for Cam.
Scoring is Emil Sander. And advancing to third is Bolton.
Runner on third here, nobody out. 1-1 count. Tough pitch to block there for Jack Arcamone. Ball bounced a little bit in front of the plate. Tough read, especially on a slider. You don't know what way that ball is going to bounce when it hits the dirt.
Yeah, certainly not. So head coach Daniel Steves talking with his pitcher now. Counts at 1-1 to Michael Hooley.
Owen Donahue seems to be taking his time down there. Not really throwing. So I think they're going to let Cam go here a little bit.
Five to 10 your score now, as the mound visit is over with.
Just like I said, Kyle, PGCBL baseball. You never know what's going to happen. Things can get interesting real fast in this league.
1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs. Kingsley, the windup and the pitch. Taken at the knees. Good spot from Kingsley, looking to bounce back here this inning. Doubledays already with 2 home.
Be huge to get a strikeout here. Try to keep that runner at third base for as long as possible.
21 total hits in the ball game. It's been quite the offensive affair here.
Oh,
tonight.
definitely not a pitcher's duel. Most of the time is never with Auburn.
1-2 pitch counts at 2-2 now. Yeah, usually I feel like the final scores for Auburn games, both teams scoring about 10 runs apiece.
No, yeah, it's definitely a slugfest. I mean, especially this late in the year, everybody's pitching's kind of getting thin, so you never know what you're going to run into. Or throw out there, for that matter.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Kingsley comes set. The 2-2 delivery.
Slider. That ball is
want to hit out in the right field. That one's going to get down.
Drop.
RBI single for Michael Hooley.
Still with nobody out.
I think you got to pull him at this point. I think you got to pull him at this
Owen
point.
is throwing down there. It doesn't seem like he's throwing in any sense of urgency, though. I think he's just, getting everything moving around. It's a 4-run ball game.
10-6 ball game, but
it's definitely getting a little interesting here. Definitely a little interesting. That's just something as a pitcher, that's a tough bit. You make a good pitch, you get a fist, and it finds a hole, and that's baseball. Really, not much you can do about that.
1 ball, no strikes. Doubledays with 3 runs already home here this inning.
Nobody out,
and 2 singles, a walk, a hit by pitch.
and Cam Kingsley just fell behind the count 2-0. Slider missed outside.
Yeah, it just seems like ever since he hasn't really recovered since that hit by pitch from to Melillo.
Arcamone walking out there to try and talk to him, calm him down.
We're going to buy some time, too, for Don.
Maybe give Owen a couple more minutes down there. That's exactly what I was thinking. Cam just needs to try and roll himself a ground ball here. If you can get a double play here and have 2 outs with nobody on, with the top of the order on deck, I think that would be very beneficial for him. Help him out a ton.
Certainly. Any out here would be ideal.
Need something here.
2-0 pitch. Misses high. Counts at 3-0. I think this is the last batter he faces. If Pilots were able to hold on for a win, this would not be the best case scenario for the Doubledays either. Auburn defeated Batavia 9-2, or Niagara defeated Batavia 9-2. So that would, winning percentage wise, 18-17 versus 19-18, which is better. I'm trying to think. It's like even, right?
I'm not a math guy. I'm a sports journalism guy. Good pitch there by Cam Kingsley.
That one
now
fouled
it's now
off.
3-2. 3-2, nobody out, French. Do you send the runner at first base here? Are you sending him down 4, you know?
It's just risky for Auburn. I mean, I
Alcamon does have a cannon.
personally, with Kingsley struggling this inning, I wouldn't send him, especially with the count at 3-2. Runner does go. That one's popped up, and that's why I wouldn't send him. As Kelly's going to make the play, and it's going to be a 3 unassisted double play. Kingsley bouncing back, and you know, maybe I could be a head coach. Maybe, just maybe. But
you know what? You were right on that one. I'll give you that. You were right on that.
So Angelo Deere, what do you have to say? I mean, I was right.
I mean,
I just have to let you know.
I understand. I understand what the strategy was there from the Auburn head coach, but you know, you're right in that situation. You get a pop up, you get a hard line drive somewhere, you're going to get doubled off.
Second double play of the game for the Pilots too. 3 unassisted double play for Mitchell Kelly, and there's 2 away. That brings up the third baseman, number 5, Carson Gross.
Me personally, also, as that ball misses up and out, I just wouldn't run on Jack Arcamon.
Yeah, I wouldn't run on Jack Arcamon either. I mean, I'm also not that fast. So
You and me both. You and me both.
The score is also 11-5. Geneva leads Jamestown. So that one taken for a strike, counts at 1-1. And that double play, certainly what the doctor ordered for Cam Kingsley.
So this game did start out as a big game for Auburn, but with the last 2 games and how that score's going, I feel like this game has just gotten multiplied by like 5 for them.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't even think that they know.
I don't think they realize it either.
Yeah. Well, certainly you don't think, especially with the way Niagara struggled lately.
Yeah. You
They're
didn't
like
think,
2-8 in their last 10, and you know, they roster's completely depleted. You don't think that they're going to win too many more games, but obviously can't get comfortable. And wow. What a breaking
comeback.
pitch from Kingsley. He gets out of the inning. So Kim Kingsley bounces back, and Gross slams his bat. A strikeout swinging to end the inning, but the Doubledays pick up 3 more runs. Your score's now 6-10, heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. here on Finger Lakes One Radio. Bottom of the 8th inning. It's Frankie DiMartino leading things off here from Colburn Park as the Newark Pilots looking to secure a win here late in the season and play spoiler yet again against the Auburn Doubledays. Frankie DiMartino smokes that one out into left center field. That one back, all the way at the track. That one hits off the wall, off the Rochester Regional Health sign. Frankie DiMartino rounding second. He's going to head into third and slide in safely. A leadoff triple. Frankie DiMartino.
Wow. All right.
Man, wheels.
That's one way to start off an inning, French. I'll tell you that much.
And that will now bring up Frankie squared. Frankie Vanzalata for the Pilots. Man, what a swing from DiMartino. He got a hold of that one. He tattooed that.
He is a strong man, Frenchie, and when he gets a barrel, it'll go. As we saw at Geneva with the inside the park home run that he hit, ball one to Frankie V over here.
So, ball one, counts at 1-0, and Frankie DiMartino already sits 90 feet away after that leadoff triple. Man, he smoked that one.
I was going to say, this is a big inning for the Pilots. Even though up by 4, no lead. As I said earlier, is ever safe in baseball, especially in the PGCBL. So you want to get a little bit more cushion here to make the 9th inning a little bit more relaxing for you.
Third triple on the summer campaign for Frankie DiMartino. Team leading third triple at that as well.
Yeah, man, he's fast. I mean, we've had some fast guys on the Pilots in recent years.
It's a 4-pitch walk for Frankie Vanzalata as well. Not ideal.
But Frankie he's an athlete. Kid's an athlete.
And that'll now bring up Justin DiMartino. So we'll see if he can replicate what his brother Frankie just did.
You also have two of the fastest guys, I believe, in the PGCBL, and one of the best base runners I've ever seen in Frankie V over there at first base here. If you're Coach Steve here, what are you doing? Because you claim to be a head coach, so I would love to hear your opinion.
I think you definitely are going to send Vanzalata here on the one of the next two pitches.
But he just threw 5 balls in a row. So do you think maybe you wait until he gets a strike, or you? Because you never know, man. If you send him, he throw. A lot of things to think about here.
Well, you got to think about the speed at third, though, and
he's running, and they're going to let him take it.
That's why I would send him. I didn't think they were going to throw. So a stolen base for Frankie Vanzalata, and you know what I'm saying? I got my crystal ball over here. I just know what's happening before it happens, 2 balls, no strikes. I was right again. So
if I'm Justin here, I'm taking. I'm taking until I get a strike. He has thrown 7 balls in a row. I think that
looks like someone's up and stretching down there in the Doubledays pen as well. So 3 balls, no strikes.
Nobody is up in the Pilots pen right now. So I
wonder
think
if they're going to save Donahue.
He's going back out.
Obviously trying to save arms too. I mean, if you can pick up insurance run here and that'll walk the bases loaded. So a triple and 2 walks.
Load the bases for the best hitter and all-star on the Newark Pilots.
One of 2 all-stars from the Pilots.
One of 2
Michael
all-stars.
Mugen no longer on the team. Obviously had that
Michael Mugen.
tooth surgery.
Miss you, buddy.
Miss you from Seaside, California.
This is not a place, if I'm an Auburn AA, that I want to be right now.
No, especially with Mitchell Kelly on deck.
You got 2 really hot bats playing back-to-back right here with the bases juiced and nobody out.
Counts it 0-1 to Archimon now. That one taking the knees for a strike. Archimon has barreled his last 2 at-bats has barreled it down the first base lines.
He's also proven that he can get it out of this ballpark, even with 2 strikes too. So
even with 2 strikes. So Miller's got to be careful.
He's got to be careful here. And right now, if you're 2 strikes, I feel like if you're Jack Archimon, you just got to shorten up, try to put something in play. The infield's playing back. They're surrendering the run.
That one ball's low. Counts at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and no outs as Jack Archimon will step back in. No outs as well. Bases loaded, and Mitchell Kelly on deck. So you're certainly not at an ideal point in the order. That one misses outside. Counts at 2-2.
And after that, you have Gage Boatman, who's also been swinging a pretty hot bat lately, finding a bunch of barrels. So
yeah,
it doesn't get any easier here for.
You're on murder's row right now with the way the Pilots have been swinging the bat in the middle of this lineup. That one misses high as well. All 3, and after being down 0-2 in the count, Archimon works it back 3-2, and Austin Miller is in danger of walking in a run here.
Yeah, he's gonna have to come here, and Jack better be ready. He can't miss this pitch.
3-2 pitch to Archimon. Swung on, and that one
just missed
popped up.
Is that going to be deep enough?
I think that is deep enough for Frankie V.
And no, they're going to hold him.
Yeah, he would have been out.
He would have been out by a couple steps. He would have had to make some sort of crazy slide there.
So an F9 for Archimon. There's one away now. That'll bring up Mitchell Kelly. And just to give you some insight on Mitchell Kelly, he's 2 for 3 on the night with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Doubled with an RBI in the first, single with an RBI in the third, and was hit by a pitch in the fifth.
I believe he has the best batting average with runners in scoring position on the Pilots.
I would have to imagine so, especially considering he has 18 RBIs right now.
There
2
was
already tonight, and he leads the team in RBIs. Big cut there.
Swung through that fastball.
Kelly was looking to do more than
not
just
looking
drive
to
in 1 run.
Yeah, he was not looking to only put 1 up on the scoreboard there. I'm not mad at it either, though.
No balls, 1 strike, and 1 away. Miller comes set the 0-1 delivery to Kelly. That one is just outside. Just a little low and outside. Counts
Yeah. Good
1-1 now. Good take from Kelly. Better than me. So
I'm swinging at that one.
1 ball,
I
1
don't know
strike,
about
and
you.
1 out. I think I'm swinging at that one. I think I'm missing.
I'm breaking my bat on that
Violently
one.
missing. The 1-1 pitch from Miller. That one.
I caught the inside corner. Good pitch.
Maybe a makeup call for the last pitch. Counts
Maybe.
at 2-1. It was a good spot, nonetheless. Counts at 2-1 or 1-2.
Now Kelly just needs to shorten up. He's got to put some wood on it. He's strong enough to get it out of the infield, even if it gets jammed.
Boatman on deck as well for the Pilots. 1-2 pitch. Misses low and outside. Counts even up at 2. I mean, after walking 2 straight batters, Miller found the zone a little bit. I mean, he's
as a pitcher, when you walk 2 straight guys and the bases end up being loaded,
they are 4 pitch
somehow,
walks too, both of them.
You kind of like tell yourself, okay, time to figure it out. Like enough screwing around. Like
that one swung on and hit.
Got
And leaping
caught
is the
by
second
second
baseman, Michael
baseman.
Hooley, who makes the grab. So an L4 and 2 away.
Oh, ball's got away there. Nothing happened though.
I'm not sure how the ball got away there.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I was. Yeah, I need to be better there.
The Doubledays get out of this one with no runs given up. That would be something. Donahue back up and warming down there as well, by the way. Oh, wait, no, is that Dylan Kelly?
No, that's
That's
all
Donahue.
Donahue.
They both have that long kind of hair.
Yeah, except I believe Dylan Kelly is 6'8".
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that he's a big boy. And that
That
ball,
one swung on and
jam
hit right towards the
shot.
third baseman Gross, who will field it and throw it to first. So after getting the bases loaded with no outs,
Wow.
3 straight outs for Austin Miller, way to bounce back. We'll head to the top of the 9th inning, but Doubledays down to their final 3 outs. We'll see if they can rally 10-6 your score. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. back here on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. So Owen Donahue coming into pitch here with a 4-run lead for the Pilots, looking to finish this one off. He'll relieve Cam Kingsley. Kingsley went 2 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs given up, and 2 strikeouts through about 50 pitches, 45 pitches. But yeah, so Owen Donahue comes in now.
Submarine guy. Ooh, that ball hits Fernando.
So Espinal will head to first now. And that will now bring up Hazel Martinez. Hit by pitch on the first pitch. So Hazel Martinez batting .329. Pair of walks in his last 2 at-bats as well.
Hazel's going to be looking to swing here. I know him very well, and he's not one who likes to walk. He likes to hit.
Certainly not.
Nope, he is a hitter. And any pitch that's over the middle of the plate, I feel like you got to watch out. So if I'm Owen here, I'm being very careful.
Owen Donahue coming set.
Submarine guy, though, so
pitch.
maybe it's a little different.
Taken for a strike, counts at 0-1. You know, having the submarine style, you know, you throw a little low, you know, more suspect to ground balls as well.
Yeah, he has that natural kind of sink because of his arm angle, which, you know,
That one
can be
just went
beneficial.
outside.
Can be beneficial, definitely.
Counts
but,
at
you
1-1.
know,
Donahue with a 12.91 ERA and 7.2 innings of work. 1-1 pitch.
And
This
that
is up
ball
and
misses
away.
up and away.
Counts at 2-1. There is no one.
They're letting Owen ride out.
They're going to let
for a while here.
Donahue finish it out.
4-run lead. We have 23 hits combined in this game today.
2-1 pitch, misses up and in.
Jack
Espinal goes.
down, not in time.
Stolen base for Espinal.
Good throw by Jack. Just a little off the left.
So Espinal now sits on second base. No outs. 3-1 count to Hazel Martinez. I personally, just as a safety precaution, would have someone up and warming.
You know, the question always is who, though.
You're going to
That
get down
ball's
there in a
gonna get
second. That
hit.
one's hit right out into right field. Espinal is going to be held at third. So a single for Martinez, first hit of the ball game. And that will now bring up Bobby Stang for the Doubledays. So now runners on the corners for the Doubledays, Stang at the plate. And
Nobody out.
Stang has power to
and
put it out as well.
We have still no movement down there. I see somebody down there in the pen. I just don't know who that is exactly.
So Kelly's going to come in and chat with Donahue. Same with Archimone.
You just need a ground ball here. You can surrender one, make it a 3-run game. That run on third.
You just need an out.
You need an out somewhere here. And from past experiences with Bobby Stang, this is not a guy that I really want to be, you know, giving a lot of good pitches to hit to.
And you're right in a position where there's a couple guys in this lineup.
That could really do some damage.
Yeah, that have been swinging the bat well lately.
Bobby Stang hit a fly ball to the warning track his last at bat.
Well, believe it or not, Stang is 1 for 4 here tonight. So the pitch
And
taken for a strike.
One good pitch.
Looked a little bit
Maybe a
up,
little up, but we'll
Stang
take
is
it.
Stang is pretty tall. So
He's a big boy. We'll take it.
no outs.
Not
Runners
complain.
on the corners. Espinal on third, Martinez on first. The former Pilots on the base path for the Doubledays. 0-1 pitch from Donahue. That one taken on the outer half of the plate. 0-2. Good spot from Donahue, especially with that tailing motion. You know, it's like an up and out kind of thing.
It looks like it.
It's like kind of like a slider.
Yeah, it
but
kinda
like
looks
it's
like
coming
it's
from
starting
down
at you.
here, like
Yeah.
down below the arm slot.
It's definitely something not easy to pick up.
0-2 misses outside. Counts at 1-2 now.
See you later. Bye. See you next year. Oh yeah, we'll talk. Obviously, sure.
That ball was ripped foul. Almost took out Fernando down there on the third baseline. Count stays at 1-2. Still no movement down there in the Pilots bullpen. So
Yeah, I think I would have someone up just for insurance.
we're looking at Owen Donahue finishing this off. That ball misses inside. Ball 2. So it counts even here, 2-2. Runners on first and third still.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 delivery swung on, and that one roped down the third base line.
That
but
ball
was foul.
is foul.
You think Ben Julian will come in and argue about that one? Because
I mean, who knows? At this point, who knows?
because Ben did argue one that was probably hit not that far out, but a little bit further out. You know,
You know, I don't know. Sometimes you just got to pick your battles. And that was one you can't really pick a battle on. That ball was a good 20 feet foul.
something about the Pilots and playing spoiler. They love doing that late in the season. 2-2 pitch from Donahue. That one frisbeed in. What a stop from Archimon. Hazel Martinez will advance on the wild pitch.
Kept it close enough. Keep the runner at third, but Hazel does move up to second base. I don't think you make a perfect pitch. I think you have to make a perfect pitch here. Unless you make a perfect pitch, I think you would be okay walking Bobby Stang.
3-2 pitch from Donahue.
Oh, good fight.
That one just barely fouled off from Stang.
That might have been ball 4, but we'll take it. Another foul ball. I think we're working
At that point, though, you gotta
Yeah.
stay alive there.
I think we're working on pitch 8 of this at bat, I believe. So another good battle here.
This would be pitch 7.
7. My apologies, Kyle.
3-2 pitch misses
Ball
outside.
4.
Ball 4. It'll walk the bases loaded.
And
Then I'll bring up the right fielder, number 3, AJ Wenrich. So bases loaded now for the Doubledays. And looks like someone's taking the sweatshirt off down there. I'm not sure who, but someone.
it is not me. I am up here in the booth with my best buddy.
Angelo
Kyle
Deere
Frank.
should be taking the sweatshirt off and warming up down there. That
And
one's
a hit
coming
by
inside,
pitch.
and that one's going to walk in Wenrich. 7-10 your score now.
So that brings up the first baseman, number 16, Garrett Prosper.
So they're going to come in and chat with Donahue. Who is up and warming? There's someone up and warming down there, right-hander, and the Pilot's pen. I can't quite see who that is.
I think that's Jack Gannon.
First pitch taken for a strike to Prosper. Count is at 0-1. 7-10 your score now.
Somebody seems to be throwing lightly down in that Pilot's bullpen. Can't get a good look at who it is exactly.
There is someone up and throwing, though.
1
ball, 1 strike.
Trying to see if I can get a number.
24, Ferris, maybe?
That is Chris Ferrara.
Chris Ferrara. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1-1 pitch.
There it
Taken
is.
for a strike from Donahue. Count is at 1-2 now.
Chris Ferrara getting loose in the Pilots bullpen.
Ferrara he's faced 2
throws
batters
strikes.
against Auburn, too. 2 batters, and he got both of them out.
He does throw strikes. I mean,
1-2 pitch from Donahue. That one just
ball
misses
misses
outside. Counts
outside.
at 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs.
Pilots baseball always seems to make it interesting, huh, French?
2-2 pitch. Swung on, and that one
Ball
popped
is-
up into left field. Trailing over is Justin DiMartino making the play. That one looks like it'll be deep enough for a sacrifice fly. It will. But that's the first out. That's the key step here.
Needed an out there.
An
We needed an out.
SF7. And that'll now bring up Emil Sander, the left fielder. Number 34, Emil Sander.
Okay.
So Emil Sander batting 292. He pinch ran for
Number 12,
Malillo after Malillo was hit. Came around to score after pinch running the pitch. Taken
Good
for a strike.
spot.
Owen Donahue bouncing back.
And Chris Ferrara sat down there in the Pilots bullpen. So
No balls, one strike. 0-1 pitch. Misses outside, counts at 1-1 now. 8 to 10 your score now.
you know, a little aces wild count here.
One ball,
with
one strike,
out.
1 out. Crucial point in this ball game, nonetheless.
This is a big spot right here. A ground ball would be
1-1. Fouled off.
That's
Donahue gets ahead in the count now, 1-2. Little double play action here would be amazing, wouldn't it?
a double play right here.
Play
mean
spoiler.
That
Doubledays would fall to
somebody's-
19 and 18.
Somebody's looking over the Pilots. Somebody's looking out for us. So we get a double play here.
The pitch. Swung on and roped. That one's into right field.
Right field.
Bobby Stang's rounding third, and he's
Sending
coming
it.
on in. The throw is not going to be in time. An RBI single. It's 10-9 now. And that will bring up James Bolton, the catcher.
Oh boy. And Coach Steve is going back out to the mound here.
Maybe Chris Ferrara is ready.
And
I think he made the sign.
jogging in to pitch is number 24, Chris Ferrara.
Chris Ferrara. He's going to be looking for the save here. This would be a save.
Ferrara is coming into pitch in a 10-9 ball game in the top of the ninth inning with 1 out.
So we're going to take a break. 9-10 your score. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. So Chris Ferrara coming in with a save opportunity here for the Pilots.
Well, Chris Ferrara did say after his last appearance against Auburn that he is Mariano Rivera, and this is his time to prove it.
Hey, I will say
This would be his time to prove it.
he does have
And the first pitch is lobbed in there for ball 1.
so the count is at 1-0 now. 1 ball, no strikes. Ferrara faced 2 batters and both of them got out. in his
They were both
appearance.
Pop outs. One
So,
to, I believe, right field and one to shortstop.
1-0
and
pitch taken
strike
for
one.
a strike. Counts at 1-1 now.
All right. Looks like he's throwing a curveball
He's throwing
from
something.
up here. Love him to death.
1-1 pitch from Ferrara.
And
That
that ball is
one's
fouled
fouled
straight
off.
back.
Counts
All
at
right.
1-2.
All right. Chris Ferrara getting ahead in the count here.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. And
If he pulls this off,
I,
we'll never hear the end of it.
I know.
No. I'll never hear the end of it.
Well, yes, the same way you
I
will
have to
never let me
go-
hear the end of the Union, Kentucky.
Oh, and a pickoff.
Look at Chris Ferrara. Look at him go.
Look at him.
I think they were getting ready to send the runner. That's probably why he did
I
that.
don't think he knows what he just did, but he did something cool. I genuinely think he learned that from watching Emerson practices.
And the pitch.
runner stays. That ball
Swung
is
on
roped
and rope
foul.
foul.
All right, Chris. Well, if you're going to throw anything faster than 40 miles an hour here right now, this pitch would be the time to ramp it up a little bit.
Imagine if he just like threw like a 80-something mile an hour fastball. Not
His
even
arm
like
would fall
crazy
off.
fast, but like enough to like fool the hitter. Like
There goes the runner. And that ball is
that
roped
one's
into
roped
left field.
into center field.
Center field,
And
and
1 run will score.
the throw to third,
Not
blocked
in
up by
time.
Nick Payne, and this game is tied.
It's now tied. Pilots just don't have pitching right now. There's no one else to throw.
You know, if Michael Flaherty's brother hadn't thrown 100 pitches on Thursday, I feel like he'd be the perfect option.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
But unfortunately, he is unavailable today. But
That'll now bring up Michael Hooley for the Doubledays. 10-10 your score. We're all tied up now.
like I said earlier, Frenchie, Pilots baseball always gets interesting at some point, right?
That
That ball
Swan hit to Nick
third.
Payne. 5-4. 3 in time. A double play. It's
All
tied.
right. All
So we'll
right.
head to the bottom of the 9th inning.
Good job.
10-10 your
Chris
score.
Ferrara.
Pilots will have a chance to walk it off. Nick Payne leading it off. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Back here on Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Bottom of the 9th inning, 10-10 your score now.
And this
Doubledays
just
put up
got
4.
interesting.
Hey, and Chris Ferrara, if the Pilots were able to walk it off here, would be credited with the win, by the way. Nick Payne fouls
just
that
took
one
a
off.
Big hack at that first pitch. What number's Nick Payne?
Nick Payne is number 29.
Number 29. What numbers you running today? 8? I think he's running 8.
8, yes.
And another big swing there by Nick Payne. Nick Payne was just trying to end the ball game there on 2 straight pitches.
The 0-2 pitch from Hooley. Swung on and missed. Strike 3.
Up next, on the knee, this is shortstop, number 20, Michael Flaherty.
That'll now bring up Michael Flaherty.
Well, nobody better here to get something started for the.
Flaherty's
for
been hot here
Pilots.
tonight, and waiting behind him is Paulie Goodness.
What is Flaherty? I believe he's 2 for 2 with a walk or a
2
hit
for
by
3.
pitch.
Doubled and scored in the second, singled and scored in the fourth, and walked with an RBI in the fifth. Then he struck out swinging his last at bat. First pitch misses for a ball from Hooley, counts at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. 1-0 pitch from Hooley. Swung on, and that one roped into left center field. That one's going to drop in for a 1-out single, his third hit of the ball game, and that'll bring up Briggs Loveland. So Briggs Loveland coming up now for the Pilots. I got to ask you, Angelo, do you surprise them with like a slap bunt here? Because I feel like this is like the one, and Briggs has speed too. This is like a spot I feel like you wouldn't expect. And Briggs can bunt pretty well too. I feel like just down the third base line, like he's playing a little deep.
You know, I feel like I understand where you're coming
The concept,
from.
you get the concept.
But the other thing is that is a very difficult play
Yeah.
to actually like do, just because the guys at this level
Yeah.
throw so hard where it's like,
Yeah, 100%.
and also if you don't get enough of the bunt, you don't bunt it out far enough, you're wasting an out.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if say he were to do it, he bunts it just outside the crease, the catcher's gonna pop up and make the play somewhere. You're wasting an out. So I feel like you gotta let him swing here. You gotta hope. Brigham has done it before, where he puts a ball in the gap or in the
He's
outfield.
1 for 3 here tonight too.
He's been swinging a pretty good bat recently too. So I feel like he's one of those guys where it's like you just let him go, and then you have Mr. Clutch on deck, Paulie Goodness.
Yeah.
So
1 ball, 2 strikes to Briggs Loveland. Singled in his last plate appearance. Hit by a pitch in the one before that. So
Briggs has also hit walk-offs at school ball.
1-2 pitch to Briggs. That one bounced in the dirt.
London
Flaherty's
was
gonna take
stealing, and
second,
he's going to go to third
and he's going to head all the
here.
way to third. The
And
throw
the throw
down.
goes into left
And that one
field.
gets out into shallow left field. Great backup, and here goes Flaherty. The throw into the plate. Not in time. The Pilots win. The Pilots win. The Pilots win. They walk it off. Michael Flaherty scores, and they win 11-10 and play spoiler yet again late here in the season. The Pilots win 11-10. Michael Flaherty heads up base running all the way first to home. And the Pilots win 11-10. Chris Ferrara gets the win on the mound and plays spoiler. Doubledays fall to 19-18. Power go to 18-17. Watch those PGCBL Western Division standings. Michael Flaherty heads up base running, comes all the way around to score, and the Pilots play spoiler late here in the season. As always, I am Kyle French. We'll see you next time. We've got one more game left here at Colburn Park for the Pilots broadcast in this summer. Pilots on the road tomorrow to face the Pioneers at Dunn Field. We'll see you next time. 11-10. Pilots win on Finger Lakes One Radio, the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv.